75% of women have faked orgasm. This is unacceptable. I'm sexologist Jill McDevitt, and in my favorite college program, the Female Orgasm, we'll use games to debunk myths about how female genitals work.
I've been roaming around, always looking down at all I see.
We'll debate about the true nature of female orgasm. So what she theorized is that basically there is no such thing as a vaginal orgasm. The people who have and experience these so-called vaginal orgasms are basically because their distance is so small with the in and out, it's pulling on the labia and it's pulling on the clit, and that's what's really happening. We'll discuss first orgasm experiences. We have a very brave soul.
I was 17 because last summer was actually at my friend's graduation party. She had a mechanical bull there.
Ooh.
And it was
And we'll safely and anonymously confront vagina insecurities and shame.
I'm embarrassed about the red bumps I get after shaving.
I don't think my clitoris really works.
With an underlying message of female sexual empowerment, the Female Orgasm guides students to critically examine and combat the social structures that lead so many women to feel the need to fake it. Lies have been told about the nature of how female orgasm happens. And the second reason I think women are known to fake orgasm from time to time is because they're really insecure about their genitals.
It was a really good presentation. I'm glad she came out because I learned a lot about orgasms. She was really good. She was funny. She wasn't boring trying to lecture us. She was really engaging.
I'm one of the organizations that had her come today. I think it's really important for women to know about their bodies and how to achieve what they want with their bodies, and I think she did a really great presentation. She knew her information, she knew the science-based part of it, and she knew the fun stuff about it, because I'm a nursing major.
What is your favorite sexual fantasy? So you're going to text 56871 and then your response. Hardcore kinky sex. I love sex in public. Threesome with my boyfriend and Hey, rate for me too. Secretary. The Sex Am I Normal college program allows students to use their cell phones to anonymously ask and answer questions about their sexual behaviors, attitudes, and identities. And the responses show up as bar charts in real time.
Take me now, hungry for your love, and she said, show me how.
Sometimes the responses are funny, sometimes they're shocking, and other times sad.
I know more women than let on have miscarriages, but I was kind of surprised for a lot of the age group I'm here for them to have had miscarriages.
But in the end, students will take away two messages: the difference between being normal and being normative. I've never done this where there wasn't at least one yes. And I think this is another example of an opportunity to talk about being normal and being normative and making assumptions and having a little compassion, because people who have accepted payment for sex. So it changes the dynamic of what you understand to be a sex worker. And again, the compassion of what makes somebody want to do that. Maybe it's not all the way that it is in the movies. And hopefully a little compassion. And so when you go out into the world, a little compassion and knowing next time you're curious about if something is normal, that other people are having the same fear, and while you might think something is funny or weird, that's that person's thing that they're so heated about and so nervous about and so really sensitive to people being judgmental about. And we all have it. So, let's put a little positive energy into the world.
I really wanted to organize this event on campus because I feel like this was a really great way to have an open dialogue about sex, about human sexuality, about sexual health. I felt like this was a really great way to kind of break the ice, to get people to talk about, their experiences and to listen, more importantly, to listen about these things that affect everyone, but we're all afraid to talk about them.
We were asked questions and we replied with our cell phones, and you got to see that you weren't alone in some of the things you thought might have been extreme. I think that was my favorite part. Her message to me, which she repeated over and over again, was compassion. And honestly, I feel like when you meet people and they might tell you some of these stories, you might judge them right off the bat without thinking about your own stories, and you don't really realize that some people in the room had been raped, some of them had miscarriages outside of this room, some people have had abortions, some people get sexually assaulted judgmented constantly. And I don't think we think about that stuff when we meet someone. And when they tell you their story, you're just so quick to judge. And seeing how many people have honestly done things against their will also makes you feel like you need some of that compassion.
For instance, I know a lot of my friends that would make fun of people about things that have happened with them in their sexual life, but I just came to realize that sometimes it really isn't funny. Sometimes people have been through different things that you might have never realized. It's kind of shocking and eye-opening about the things that you learn. So I feel like that was one of the most shocking parts about the whole thing.
This was patented in 1902 by the Hamilton Beach Company. You have something in your home right now that is Hamilton Beach. Blenders, toasters, quesadilla maker, all those things that make small household appliances. But in 1902, they were making vibrators.
That's not bad.
I know. So this pad right here would go on the clitoris, and then we would... That feel good? No, right? Thank you very much. The history of the vibrator is going to be a tasteful presentation that highlights important subjects like patriarchy, the pathologizing of female sexuality, and the role of technology in sexual health. So what ended up happening is women are becoming hysterical. How do we treat hysteria? Pelvic manipulation, done in one of two ways, either by a doctor's hands or by high-pressure water treatment, and that's what this lovely picture is of. But he goes, you know what, I can make a lot more money if I have a machine to do this for me. This is the industrial period, so this is great, we have the technology to do this. This is the steam-powered. Called it the manipulator.
This workshop was really amazing for me. I learned a lot about vibrators and about kind of how the whole progression of vibrators I never really knew before. Jill is awesome, she has a lot of energy, it was a lot of fun.
Does anything surprise you?
The smaller number of risk activities, I guess. I didn't really realize that there would be like a mountain of low to no risk versus that.
Right. That's not the way that, you know, I received education. There is so much sexual activity that can be really safe, but we don't talk about this part. So we don't call mutual masturbation sex. And really, that's leaving out a whole lot of activities that can be really meaningful and fun and sexy and orgasmic and safe. Each person is going to take a step and we're going to see who can do it the fastest.
Right. You have to roll down. Go. All right, sex.
I chose to organize this event on campus because I thought it was really important for students to be able to learn about safer sex without being preached at like you're in high school, and having a more relatable person coming in, and Jill provided that program.
I thought Jill as a presenter was very down to earth. I felt like I could relate to her. She talked very, very knowledgeably, but also on my level.
This is not your typical positive body image workshop. Using carefully crafted, interactive activities and self-reflection exercises, How to Feel Sexy Naked confronts the tough questions.
The Dove campaign, real beauty, real women. If that actually changes your opinion, great. You feel sexy, but then you fall into, okay, now you're a slut, now you're cocky. Or, no, it doesn't work, so we're still at no, but now you also feel guilty about it. None of those scenarios lead to anybody feeling sexy, so this is a problem.
She's one of the most confident women I know. And like just the way she carries herself, she's sure of herself, she's smart, and she's fiery.
I said Danielle, really cute hair, pretty eyes. And what I also think is sexy about Danielle is that you're here. And I think that it really speaks volumes about a person who's willing to spend 2 hours of their evening learning how to better themselves as women.
This event of How to Feel Sexy Naked with Jill was exactly how I feel women need to be and think. And it's an environment to really learn from everyone else that attends too. At the end, it was great to build everyone's confidence up, and it's just a really together moment.
How to Feel Sexy Naked is sometimes funny, sometimes heartbreaking, and tears are shed from time to time, but always inspiring.
When I come, I think it's going to be like all about sex, but it's not. Mostly, it's about loving yourself and body image, and I think it's a really wholesome message.